The Shepnaz podcast begins now.
Welcome to the Shepnaz podcast. I'm Joe, and I'm your host today for
Worship Wednesday.
Well,
here we are.
You made it. You made it. So last time when we recorded, we recorded before camp meeting, and we were being prophetic in that the fact that you were going to make it through and things were going to go well.
Yes, sir.
So now this is actually being recorded in real time. We have now completed camp meeting.
We've done it. It is finished.
So felt we had to do the debrief.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we have to.
All the things that
we have to
happened and how it went and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it was terrible. Just kidding.
So Pastor Zack and Noah, of course, are in with us, and probably a little worn right now.
Just a skosh.
Just spent the past 8 days leading worship, and it was Sunday to Sunday. And not only that, but you got to return to your prospective campuses on Sunday morning and lead worship then at our campuses as well. So
it was a lot.
Well, and maybe we'll get into this discussion. But at both campuses this past Sunday, worship was a little different because of changes that we made for camp meeting. So maybe we'll get into that as well.
For sure.
So for those that aren't aware, they've been asleep for the past 3 weeks when we've been talking about this. We did have district camp meeting last week, and Shepherd was asked, specifically it was
Reverend Zach Zaborski.
Reverend Zach Zaborski and friends, which I am hearing that there are going to be tour T-shirts made of it. Very expensive tour T-shirts.
Unfortunately, yes.
Made available. I don't know. I think the ink is gold leaf, maybe. I don't know.
They've added real drops of my blood into the ink.
I've purchased real tour T-shirts, and I don't think I've spent any more than what I might be spending on this fake tour T-shirt.
That's why we got to keep the experience real.
We didn't reach the goal for the giving for the week, so we had to sell some very expensive T-shirts.
So, you guys might be able to get in. I don't know that there's been an order placed. There's still chatter about it. So, we're trying to get a quantity discount here. If you want to
please order some shirts.
If you want to get a Zack and Friends tour T-shirt, email podcast@shepnaz.org.
Good.
Then I will tell you how much it costs. I'm not even going to say it out loud.
It's wise.
Yeah.
It's wise. Oh, man. Yep.
And there's no shame if after I replied to your email, you go, no, thank you.
I said that.
I didn't get one.
I was in the band and I saw that. I was like, yeah, right.
Yep. I took out a second mortgage on my home for family's T-shirts.
Wow.
It's fun.
It will be a collector's item. That's for sure.
Yep.
Because there won't be many of them.
No. It's a very small run.
So, kind of walk us through how the week went and what happened.
Yeah, it was awesome. All kidding aside, it was an amazing week. So for those of you who didn't know, I know we mentioned this before, but when Pastor Eddie reached out asking if we would do this, I have been to camp meetings in the past, and as soon as he said, would you be willing to do camp meeting? My first reaction was, I am not the guy.
I'm not cut out for that.
Yeah, no, that is not what you've been doing is not us. And that's not a slight to anybody who's ever done it in the past. It's just, we're different than that. And he made it very clear that nope, that's exactly what we want. We want to make this a interactive worship thing. We don't want to just sing to people. We want to worship with people. and create an atmosphere where the Spirit can really move through the worship. And so that's what we tried to do. And I think that's exactly what happened. I'll tell you one cool perspective was, where we're at on the platform looking out and being able to see the congregation. The difference in the very first Sunday service versus the last Sunday service was night and day when it comes to like people interacting in worship. I think everybody at the beginning, especially people who've done camp meeting for a long time, kind of just taking it in and being like, what is happening right now? This is not what we're used to. But as the week went on, and I think even if people didn't necessarily like the style, or we're more contemporary, not traditional, and if we did a hymn, we mixed it up, like we did something different or added a chorus to it, and I think people were a little worried about that the first night, but then when they experienced the presence of God through worship, you could see people just opening up throughout the week, and so by the end of it, which, at the time we're recording this last night, being able to look out and see a room full of people that maybe a week ago were kind of concerned to just full on abandoned in worship. They were just giving God their all. Most people, not everybody, but that's okay. I will say, I was very pleasantly surprised that throughout this entire week, I only saw one person plug their ears.
Wow.
One, and that was last night. So, and that's okay. It did get a little hot at times, but that's all right. I know another cool thing that I noticed this week was how many young people were there. Because camp meeting traditionally, there's not a ton of young people. But when we did like the kids' night, where we brought in the kiddos and we had them do some worship with us, I think they ended up saying there was like 45 or 50 kids that were represented throughout the week, which is huge. I mean, that's a big group of kiddos. So, people are driving from all over, like this isn't like just local people. This is everybody coming from all churches over the district. And so to see families there represented with young kids and young parents, or, grandparents bringing their grandkids and that kind of stuff. Like, it was cool to see this representation, especially that night, of worshiping with all generations. Like being able to, I was a train wreck. I've talked about this before. There's something about watching your kids worship.
Oh yeah.
That wrecks me. And they're up there just singing this fun little dancey song. And I'm just like, look at her go. Olive is actually paying attention and holding still and worshiping. And it was just such a cool moment, because one of the things that Pastor Tiffany, who was doing all the kids stuff for the camp meeting, she's from Pickerington, she told me at the beginning, she's like, I don't want to just get up there and show the kids off. Like, this isn't like, look what we learned. It's like, we want people to stand up and worship with us and clap along. And that's exactly what happened. Yeah. To see all generations in one moment worshiping Jesus together was such a powerful moment for me. That was really cool.
Nice.
So, yeah. What stuck out to you this week, pal?
I'd say the acceptance and love that, we got from the people who came, I think was the most impactful to me. Just, no complaints, really anybody angry or not getting it. For the most part, everybody seemed on board and worshiping. And so that was very encouraging, just because I was nervous going in. And so that was really fun, I think.
Yep, I agree. There is always this sense of like, when we do stuff like camp meeting that traditionally has been, more traditional and that kind of stuff, there's always that fear in the back of your head, like, all right, who am I going to upset tonight? But like we said every night, it's, and we say it here at Shepherd all the time. It's like, we're not here to entertain you. Like, I'm not here to make you happy through worship. Like, I'm here to worship Jesus, and I hope you join us. And people did.
Yeah.
And I know that there's people there that are like, oh, we're playing another upbeat, loud song that I've heard on the radio or whatever. It's like, but to just see people actually engaging and not being angry or disgruntled or felt the need to come and complain. Like, I didn't have anybody approach me all week long about like, hey, when are we doing this song? Or we've done this one in the past. Like not once did that happen. So that was, I agree, super encouraging. And the amount of people that felt the need to come up and share that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, of all ages and all churches. And like I had one gal come up and she was saying like how happy she was to hear a full band in worship because their church, you know, they go to a smaller church, and if they do sing newer songs, they sing along to like a karaoke track and you know, normally they just open the hymnal and do the hymns. She was like, to see a full band, especially of younger people who were just on fire for Jesus and actually worshiping and not just getting up there and playing. She was like, it was so refreshing to see that and experience that. She's like, and that's not even my style of music, but it was refreshing to experience worship and experience the presence of God with other believers. It was really cool.
Yeah.
It was really cool. And I know Pastor Eddie Eastep, he was so encouraging all week. Like he came up to me almost every night at the end of the service, and he just said, he's like, this is exactly what we wanted to see happen. Like this is exactly where we wanted to see this go. So yeah, I was just super encouraged all week. It was fun. It was a good time.
I would say a highlight for me would have been Thursday night. So they took turns. J.K. Warwick, who did a revival here just in the past year or so, he was one of the keynote speakers down during camp meeting, and also Dr. Eastep, and they just took turns every other night who was speaking. And Thursday night, Dr. Warwick was speaking, and he was relating a bunch of kind of stories. He was able to weave those together. It was really something to hear him talk about, you know, his time in ministry. And but there was one moment that stuck out to me, and you probably know where I'm going with this.
There you go, because it stuck out to me too.
And he was talking about this, you know, in his description, I'm using his words. I think he said there was like this hippie guy, and he was
Described me.
like he was kind of a misfit, and you know how God was talking to him, like how should you minister to this man, and one of the things that he said was, oh yeah, this guy would have fit in perfect at Shepherd.
Yep.
And like you know, people were chuckling.
Yeah.
And so was I, because I knew he was right. You know, a lot of times when somebody says something that's truthful, it's funny. And but to me, like it was probably like a badge of honor for me.
Yeah.
If you could say to me that, hey, Shepherd would be a place where somebody on the outs would fit.
Yep.
Like mission accomplished. That's exactly what we would love to have, is a place where people that are on the fringe would feel okay here. And so to me, you know, it was funny. Shout out to Dean Jenkins that works at on all the video stuff during camp meeting, and he's regular at Grove City Naz. He was up there with us. He was getting a good chunk out of it too, because like he was getting fully immersed with the Shepnaz team, both from worship and tech, and so he got to he got a first row seat of the weirdness that we bring to a situation.
100%. Yep. It's actually funny you say that, because so after service, JK, like, because I was up on stage playing during the altar call moment, and he, like, the second they said amen, he came straight up to me and was like, I just want you to know I wasn't trying to be offensive. Like, I hope that didn't offend you. I was like, dude, that's the best compliment you could give our church. Yeah. Like, that's what we strive for. Like, we want to be the church that anybody can walk in the door and say, yeah, I fit in here. You know, I was like, thank you. Like, that's the best compliment I've got.
I looked over right after he said it. I looked over the ledge because I knew Rob was sitting down below, and I looked over and I could see, you know, Rob just clapping his hands and laughing. And I was like, yeah, that's who there's no denying it. That's who we are. So.
Yeah.
I know it does crack me up when I look at like there's certain times we put our teams together and I'm just looking across the stage and it's like, oh, this guy's covered in tattoos. This person has neon hair. That person has tattoos.
Yeah.
Like this person's wearing shorts. You know, it's like we're just normal weirdo people that just are on fire for Jesus, and I love it. I love it.
Well, it was fun, Noah, to see you. You were having your own personal tour. I mean,
Yeah, for real.
While the band, of course, was on the Hocking Retreat Center tour.
Yes.
Yeah.
You were on your tour around the platform. So
Yeah.
talk a little bit about the different roles you played during the week.
Yeah. First night, played lead guitar. Second night, I think I played bass. Third night, drums. Fourth night, I think I went back to bass. And then sang a couple verses of some songs, and then acoustic guitar, and then back on drums for the final night. So I knew that was my kind of role going in, is that, you know, we're going to fill in where I need to fill in. And it's a little stressful sometimes just because especially playing lead guitar, you know, I have to practice that more and know what parts to play. And, but yeah, I was just thankful to be able to play. I haven't been on drums in a while, and my hands are all bruised up. And
You got
calloused.
blisters on your
Yeah.
fingers.
So it got me back to play drums, and that was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed that. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, very grateful for you for that, man. I know you put in a ton of work. And just a shout out to the whole team, because like, I know people are aware, but I don't think they realize like how much goes into it of like, you know, our whole team was driving back and forth. Like Noah drove back and forth every day to do this.
Yeah.
And so just huge shout out to Noah and the entire team and all the tech guys that were driving back and forth. Like it was a lot of effort put into it. And I'm super grateful that, and I think people had fun. Like,
Yeah,
I think
it was
they
fun.
wanted to be there, you know,
Yeah.
it was like, it was cool to see that, you know, it's a big sacrifice to do events like that, where it's like, you know, it's a week-long thing, you know, it's 8 services. That's a lot of services. But man, everybody just came in with good attitudes and had fun. We worshiped Jesus, and it was a blast, man. It was fun.
So I had mentioned at the top that because we ended up taking down a lot of equipment. So like the keyboard we normally use here in Gahanna was down there. The drums that they normally use in Johnstown were down there. Some other stuff that, you know, we would have down there, like pedals and things that once you're kind of set up for the week, you really don't want to have to mess with that and tear it all up and put it back. So that meant that on this past Sunday morning, that things looked a little different, both in Gahanna and Johnstown. So kind of talk a little bit about that, if you would. Like, what was it like getting worship kind of in a stripped down mode, getting that ready?
Yeah, ours was, luckily Larry, who plays drums most Sundays for us, also plays the mandolin really well. So it was kind of fun to have a mandolin play. And I will say, honestly, this Sunday was our probably most expressive, like the looking out into the congregation. I like took it in, like it was one of those, I took it in, like, because, you know, in Johnstown, if you haven't come yet, we're getting full every Sunday.
Which is awesome.
And so just a full room in that small room, so loud because there's not really much music going on. We had just guitar, two acoustic guitars, mandolin and keys. And so it wasn't much. And so to hear everybody worshiping and not miss a beat, not have an off Sunday because the drums weren't there. Like somebody actually came up to us and said, you know, this is the first time I've ever not heard drums and been okay with it.
Right.
Like, it's just like, didn't feel like it needed it. Like, I didn't miss it. So yeah, it was pretty cool that the least we've done has been the most rewarding worship time. Yeah. So
That's awesome. That's
Well,
awesome.
Larry really brought it on the mandolin.
Right.
oh yeah, he was,
The spirit flows through those tiny little strings.
he gets busy on it.
Come on. That's good. Yeah. So here in Gahanna, we went full stripped out. Like we had nothing. It was myself singing and playing guitar and my wife singing. And that was it. That's all we had. No click track, no nothing. And there's a few reasons we did that.
Yeah.
One of those reasons being all of our gear's down in Logan. Another one of those reasons is it was a lot easier to plan with just me and my wife. And two, like, I hope this doesn't come off mean for anybody else on the team, but like, there's something really special for me when I just get to stand up there with my wife and worship, just
Sure.
me and her. We've been doing it literally since we met. Like, we've been worshiping together since the day we met, you know? And so to be able to have that moment with her, you know, like, I know it's not about that, but like, there's something special for me when I get to just worship Jesus alongside of the person that I love. It's just, there's something cool about that. Plus, we've been doing it together for so long that like, you can almost read each other's minds a little bit. Like, I know where she's about to go with something.
Right.
Like if she's going to jump up a note that she normally wouldn't, like, I know that she's going to do that. And she knows the same for me. Like we did during communion, we did Reckless Love. And because our voices were a little shot, normally like there's a part at the end where I jump up real high and I couldn't do it. And she somehow just knew that like, I'm not going to jump up here. And she just followed me vocally exactly where I went without any warning. So that was really cool. But kind of like what you were saying, like it was interesting to see how into it people were. Like most of the time when, you know, we got a full band and we got drums and electric guitars and it's, you know, it's big, it's full, it's loud. But I do think there's something special about stripping it down and like going back to just the basics and the heart of it. You know, I think that song, going back to the heart of worship, you know, that kind of thing. And I think it was a powerful moment because I think people were able to just like get the distractions away. Like I don't have to worry about anything but worship. You know, it's just one guitar and two voices and that's it. And so, yeah, a lot different from what we normally do, but I think it was important. And I think it was definitely like a sign of this should happen more. You know, so it was good.
Well, I think of it in terms of, and I kind of apply this same strategy in like what we do in small groups and in other areas of ministry. Like it can't be meat and potatoes all the time.
Right.
You know, sometimes you just need the light salad. Sometimes you just need whatever to offer something a little different because otherwise you start breeding complacency. Like this just becomes the norm. And so sometimes a little change like that is a really positive thing for somebody to just say, wow, that was a different way to approach worship today. So
for sure.
All right. So I guess that means next week we'll talk about the
Camp
week
meeting.
after camp meeting.
Yeah.
No, we're at next week. Next Wednesday.
It'll be
is
different, I promise.
Something new. We don't know what it is yet, but it's not going to be about camp meeting.
There you go.
So in the meantime, you can check out everything that's going on at the church by going to shepnaz.org. Also, we encourage you to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. For Pastors Zack and Noah, I'm Joe. Have a great day. This podcast is a production of the Shepherd Church of the Nazarene, Gahanna, Ohio. Email to podcast@shepnaz.org and let us know what you think.